Hey YouTube, it's Marida. Welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And today we're going to talk about being the strong black woman and why it's not really a compliment. If you want to see what I'm talking about, stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Dr. Marida P, registered nurse, been a nurse for 18 years. We're going to talk about why being called a strong black woman is not a compliment. Now, before you all get in a tizzy, understand that when people typically use that or say that to us, they say that in the most respectful, typically, the most respectful, they mean well by it. It is nothing most people mean in a negative way. But for me, I will say that I find as I'm going through this narcissistic journey and marriage demise, shall I say, that I do find that to be a negative term. But people don't say it negatively. They just don't realize what it really conveys to people like myself. So I put this video specifically under the content or playlist of my narcissistic marriage, my road to recovery, because this is where it really comes into play. When you think about the fact that to be a strong black woman, as we are often coined, and very so deserving, it also means for a lot of us, we have nobody else to depend on. We had to get strong. Think about this. Why is it that we're strong again? Why do we have to be strong? How did we even get here? We got strong because we had to face adversity. And we realized very early on, whether it be our friends, family, our so-called friends, family, our relationships, that we could not depend on anyone. And as a result of not being able to depend on anyone, we had to do things ourselves. And I say that with the utmost respect, but when you begin to the point where you can't trust anyone, where no one is ever there for you, you have no choice but to get strong. And then you have situations such as I am in, where I had to end a marriage. And doing so caused me to have to be a single parent. And doing so meant I had to make sure that I had enough income to cover all our needs. And doing so meant I had to do the house upkeep. It meant I had to do the children upkeep. It meant I had to do my own upkeep. It meant I had to do the car upkeep. It meant that I had to do everything that typically a two-person relationship would have, but I'm doing it by myself. I have to figure out things for the kids where I don't have anybody to ask questions to. They often say it takes a village to raise children, and it does take a village, but oftentimes we don't have the village. It's just us. So I say that in the most respectful way, that when people say you are such a strong black woman and that is so wonderful, I thank you, but I want you to really think about when you hear this video, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. You mean well, but the only thing it really tells me is that no one checks on us. They don't check on us. They assume we have it. We're good to go. We have to lay awake at night, tearful, trying to figure out how we're going to make sure the kids eat, how we're going to make sure that they get to school, how we're going to get gas in the car to go to work. We're the ones who have to take off when the kids are sick. We have to take off to take them to the doctor's appointments. We have to take off to when we're sick as well. There's often, not always, just one income that comes in as a result of this whole scenario. And so if you are a stay-at-home wife, as an example, and now you're having to do this on your own, you're having to go find employment, you're having to do all this. So I highly recommend as a woman that you always have you a gig somehow, some way, have money coming in somehow, some way. I don't care if you're working at Walmart, the dollar store, you're babysitting, have a way to make you some money so that you can not fully depend on anyone, because people will let you down. So again, this is going to be short and sweet. I do love the notion that people think that we're strong, we're black, and we're women. But I also hate the fact that when people say that about us, that they don't come to our aid. We're not the damsels in distress, but we really are. We've been damsels in distress for so long, and we could not count on nobody, that this is where we end up. So we don't have the opportunity to say, and then sometimes as a result of that, we end up exuding masculine energy as a result. Our femininity somehow seems stripped because we have to assume a role of what a man would have to do and think how a man have to do. We don't have that softness about us. So I'm in the process of regaining that softness because in my toxic marriage, he had the feminine energy and I ended up with the masculine energy. And as a result of that, became kind of hardened and, just the anyway, I'm trying to get me back. And as you all know, when we get in these situations, we have to get us back. And what we need to do is build us a village of our own and say, okay, you know what? Go and network, find other single moms, other groups. Divorce groups are very popular to find people who are in like situations as yourself, where you can reach out to talk to someone and say, how do you feel about this? Can I vent to you? I have coworkers that are also single parents that I have the opportunity to just like, this is our situation. We can sit and talk and cry together and say, okay, you know what? If you ever need somebody, let me know. And guess who comes through for me? Those people, the single parents who have endured what I have endured are the ones who come through for me. That's the community that we need. So the next time you tell somebody that they are a strong Black woman, I know you mean well, and I'm pretty almost 100% certain that you mean the most utmost respect towards whoever the said person happens to be. But I want to tell you, ask them how they're doing. Ask them if they need anything. Ask them, can do what you want me to keep the kids or watch the kids for you to take a good bath or a good shower. If you want to run to the mall, run to the store by yourself. That's what we need. We need people to understand that yes, we are strong. Yes, we are Black. Yes, we're women. But we need help just like everybody else does. But because we could not depend on not one person, time after time after time, that we've had to learn how to adjust and do for ourselves. And that's not a compliment. Where people can be damsels in stress and get help, we get no help. That's what being a strong Black woman says to me. So again, short, sweet, to the point. Hopefully if you are watching this video, you are in your healing stages as well. If you're not healing, you are beginning to realize that you need to heal. And I am 2 years, a little over 2 years and a few months out of since I put him out. And I have grown so much. I can definitely feel the feminine energy coming back. I love it. I love it here. We as women typically don't want to have to go over there to that masculine side, but we have to sometimes. So I'm loving the energy that I'm getting now as I'm healing, as I'm growing. Definitely watch this video. Go ahead and watch the whole, this whole playlist of my narcissistic marriage, my road to recovery. And I encourage you, if you're seeing this video, which is one of the later videos, that you go back to the beginning and see how the chaos that I was living in and the depression that I was going through, that I didn't even realize at the point in time I was going through it. If you look at some of the videos, you can kind of see signs and symptoms like, oh, she's depressed. And I was. And I'm on the healing side of it. It's not always pretty, though. It's not always pretty. Until the next time, thank you for watching this video in its entirety. You all take care. Bye-bye.